Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we need to talk about the potential government shutdown that could happen this Friday night. But before we dive in, don't forget to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Just go wild, press all the buttons. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. With that being said, let's get into it. So, potential government shutdown happening this Friday. So for the House votes, they've had enough. They've been able to pass that. They just needed a total votes of 218, and Republican had the full party. But for the Senate House, they needed they need supermajority votes. So even though the Republicans have 60 or 53 votes, they need a total of 60 votes. So they need seven more from the Democrats, and they only have about till Friday, so like 2 days, and that's getting a bit more riskier. And Democrats are not too pleased with the fact that they didn't really get an opinion on the spending bill. So there's a decent chance this could not go through, and I don't think it's going to be some crazy crash or crazy bad thing. It's happened in the past with Obama, with Trump, but I do think all the news that the government shutdown will happen, I think could bring, if it goes down, could bring some more pressure on the stock market for Friday. So just pay attention to that. I think if there's a shutdown that happens with all the other incidents that are going on, I could see us definitely retesting this 550 line, which is pretty strong support right now. Um, but yeah, so just keep informed on that. And yeah, the next thing that I want to talk about is this CPI update that we had. It turned out to be pretty good actually for February. The only thing that I found was that there wasn't actually any of the tariffs priced into this, or not that many priced into this. So I don't feel like the report was quite a good picture of what we may see when the tariffs hit and the inflation, starts kicking in with the tariffs. I think that's part of the reason why we had a little bit of a gain here and then a pullback, was because, even though this CPI was a good report, the consumer price index, it wasn't strong enough signal to show that the tariffs that are coming in is actually going to reduce the inflation. So keep an eye on that. The next report, somewhere early mid March, that one will start getting a bit more information, and April even more information. So as those tariffs really kick in, then we will start seeing those numbers reflect in the CPI reports. Keep in mind that the reciprocal tariffs Trump plans to put in is occurring April 2nd. That's the big date. April 2nd. That's when all the news will be about finalized. That's kind of looking where I think the big buy opportunities are going to start happening. And my prediction for the S&P. So right now, yeah, we're testing these levels. We got about 2 more days of potential bad news with the government pressure coming in. These candles are looking kind of strong, though. I will admit those are looking strong candles. Let's see what the weekly so not that great actually, but I could see the S&P. The S&P is definitely trailing in this area here. So, when it's at the high point of this area, it's probably a wise time to get out of some stocks, out of plays. And when it starts approaching the 550s, you're kind of time to buy stocks. The 600 is really the battleground here. It tries to push up, tries to push lower. So while we're in this area, I do think this is kind of your sell. This is kind of your buy. You can wait to see if it ever breaks through one of these. If it does, a lot more bear sentiment, a lot more bullish sentiment. So keep a close eye on that, as I will be watching that as well. Another thing to note for next week, NVIDIA has a conference. They're performing at a conference called GTC, and basically the CEO is going to discuss, future plans, future advancements that they have. This is going to happen. Let's see here. This is happening next week. Yeah, so he'll be announcing. I'm pretty sure it's about 3-4 days throughout next week. So expect him to start talking on the 18th. So let's say we got a little pullback on the 13th, 14th. I think it could be good to get into a couple semiconductor plays before that announcement, or any tech plays that are around NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, my kind of what I'm looking for the week. I see this being a money play here. I'm hoping for NVIDIA to pop back down and touch the this potentially the 110 support level here. I'm for sure buying a lot more down the 1.4 if this happens around on the Friday point. And then next week when he discusses about his tech, because it's a solid company, it's going to be killing it in the next couple of years. That could give us definitely some short-term movement throughout the week, and and I'll be expecting to see that, but I'm not going to keep the hold for super long term because Trump is announcing the semiconductor tariffs the week after. So this is really a 1 week play for me, short-term trade. You can do long-term, no problem. You can hold long-term and not worry about it. I think it's fine. But for now, I'm just doing short-term trades until, we approach the dates of March 31st, April 1st, April 2nd, those dates there. So that's one play I'm looking for here. Another play, MSTR. So we've seen a lot of action here. I keep talking about this guy. I think it's a good play. I think there's money to be made here. These are my ranges basically. So when it gets down to when 270 to me is an easy short in a way. So we touched that today, so that could have been a short opportunity there. I didn't actually quite get in. I was just waiting a bit, so I didn't get in. But that is a great opportunity. Had I had a bit more reserves to get in on that play, I 100% would have jumped in on there. 270 down to the downside. I think if you really want to play it safe, you can hop out 250, and then. But if you wanted to potentially see it go lower than 230, I'm kind of playing the downside Thursday, Friday, and then I'm gonna try and get out of all my downside plays, and then hop in a couple plays for the announcement that Nvidia's having for next week. But this is a nice range here. So down here you could buy for the upswing. Here you can short sell for the downswing, and then watch as these break through. And yeah, it's an easy risk to reward. Palantir, another play. Same thing, been discussing this guy here. Basically, let's get rid of that. Same play, 90, 80 range. We broke through this range, so I actually took a short position on 85 because I saw some resistance on a smaller chart indicator, maybe on the hourly chart. Saw some resistance, so I took a short play there, and it broke down, a nice breakdown, and then I got out. It's touching the 50-day moving average, so that's kind of providing some support here. I kind of think this is probably the next range here. Palantir has released some new news with new contracts, new companies, so maybe that's going to help push it up higher. I really don't see it breaking through 90 anytime soon, but that could be pushing it through higher. However, the new range for me that I'm looking at now, I'm going to get rid of this. This is my new range. I think 85 down to the 75. I like to use whole numbers. 85 down to the 75 is a good range, and then if it ever breaks through 75 and the 50-day moving average, we can start seeing some more downside. But for now, we can just play that back and forth, up and down. That's the play number 3. Fourth play that I have for you guys is Soundhound. Let's take a look at Soundhound. Soundhound's been bouncing around. Let's see what this looks like on the hourly chart here. It's a bit more of a penny stock, obviously. More risk, you don't have the funds for the risk. I don't recommend this play for you, but it can still be nice to tune in and listen. So there's some 50-day moving average. It's having even the 20-day moving average here. It's showing a bit of resistance, which is nice. I'm doing short trades. I got a short trade at 940. 940 was a short position here. This guy peaked all the way up to 960. I probably put my bracket. I like using whole numbers, as I said. Bracket 950, $9, 850. That's probably where I'm looking at to play here. So we shorted it at 840. Looking for the downside. We'll see how Thursday, Friday work out. If the government news is kind of, as I would suspect, puts a bit more pressure on the market just because everyone's in panic mode, this could SP pulling back a little bit further. Now the $9 range, will I hold it through the $9 range? I'm going to have to see how this guy plays out and how it fights. But I could be just, I could go to the 9 and then hop out here, because Soundhound could be playing between the 950 zone a little bit during that time. So that's kind of my play there. But yeah, if you're looking out for this guy, watch the 9 zone. If he breaks through the $9 zone, then expect to see a further decline down to the 850. I think long term, Soundhound, they lost the attention that they get with Nvidia. They're losing more media attention, which means less and less of new buyers are popping in. So even if it's a great company, the fact that less buyers are getting the attention of this stock is going to slowly start deteriorating it back into like its normal valuation, which we could see not too long ago. Is at the $6, $5. I know it's gotten some new contracts, so there's maybe a bit more reason as to the hype in there. But I think this guy price to sales is still very high. So I see this guy pulling back down in long term to see it clicking down here. But for now, yeah, just playing the short term swing. Let's see it get to 9, hopefully break down to 850 on the short term trade. Yeah, those are the plays for now. If you guys want to hear anything or want to know anything, or if you liked something, please share a comment. Please share a like. I only got one subscriber right now, one real subscriber, because the other one's me. And I appreciate it. Take care. Stay green. Let's get those money bags, baby.